So I'm not the first person to say that geek and gamers are racist. Zack Snyder did it first.
Donation page, we still have the Geeks and Gamers logo. I just want to say that I really, we talked about this, and we're really not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers as far as I'm concerned, and I really just want to make that clear. And I also want to just say, in light of recent events, I think we really, if Justice League teaches us anything, it's about coming together, and there's no room for hate. And I just think that it's important. It's an important message, and of course, as the father of Asian children, it really hits close to home for me. And I just really want to put that out there that we all, there's no room for hate.
After the whole, who canceled me? The Fandom Menace people canceled me over the Snyder comment, because apparently those assholes didn't want me defending them after he called them a bunch of white supremacists. So fine. People are fucking white supremacists and the nerdbotics.
They can't blame themselves.
Yeah, because they can't blame their own selves for falling for a goddamn
They got suckered in by the promise of...
If they were on that stream and had a problem with me trying to defend them, then they can just shove their own heads up their asses. I'm tired of
Listen, they got suckered in by the problem.
I want he would just remove Brie Larson.
Hold on, it gets good.
It's to fucking view counts on the Brie Larson videos. That's who these people. That's the problem. It's like, yeah, go bully the people who fucking canceled me because they said a lot worse about Brie fucking Larson, alright? I'm so goddamn tired of it. I'm so fucking sick of all of this.
Yeah, ban me, Ghost.
I wish somebody would just remove Brie Larson from YouTube altogether. Just her name, her picture, her face, every fucking mention of this woman. I want to never see her ever again as long as I fucking live. Do you understand me? I'm so goddamn...
Shut up and sit down.
A simple meme was enough to put the Phantom Menace into a panic. A tweet that, to be honest, was not even that successful. If that's not a testament to how unaccustomed they are to questioning and their intolerance of critical thinking, I wonder what could exemplify it best. It is ironic, of course, since they always call their lies and invasions criticism and claim to be victims of intolerance when their utter lack of integrity is blamed on them.
2020, I made a video about Brie Larson and anti-SJW's obsession with her, and I said I feel this is pretty dangerous how much content they put out to drive so much hatred to one person for things that she said that weren't even that bad. She was talking about diversity in the film critic community, and these guys just went absolutely off on one, saying she was racist against white people.
I don't want to hear what a white dude has to say.
And that's going to be a theme in this video. But essentially, what these bigger channels do is make a target like Kathleen Kennedy, like Brie Larson, and they found a new target for their new videos lately, and they drive this hatred towards them. But now they're seeing the consequences of their actions, where someone they've harassed and driven hate towards is actually getting really, really racist messages on Instagram as a direct result from the videos they've been making.
So obviously a lot of people gave me a lot of grief for making so many videos about Brie Larson. The thing is that they didn't understand is that I'm a huge fan. Brie knows I'm a huge fan. And that's why she sent me such a wonderful gift. Thank you, Brie. A lot of people said, hey, you made 20 videos on Brie Larson. Are you obsessed? No. I was giving the people what they wanted. And because of that, look at what Brie sent me. A beautiful Brie shed. Now I need to do a little bit of landscaping around the sides, which I'm hoping this Brie Larson film video will cover. But let's just do a little cribs tour of the wonderful Brie shed.
Now, if you think this is reminiscent of a snuff film, just wait for the next slide.
This is a beautiful 12 by 12 slab. Gonna install some rafters up here.
Okay. So he's got the Brie shed. Now, let's see where this... Now, something to be considered, okay? Brie Larson won an Oscar for the movie Room, where she trapped in a shed and sexually assaulted over and over. Here is the shed from The Room. You can see, this is the shed. This is the Brie shed he bought to taunt her. Now, considering everything we've talked about, is it really a coincidence? Can it really be considered a stretch to think that maybe he's making a reference to a shed in a film where she was raped and sexually assaulted over and over and held a prisoner? I mean, is it really a reach? I'm not sure. He always talks about his Brie shed. I mean, more stuff happens in sheds than just putting a lawnmower.
Hello folks, this is Joe Cool for Brie Larson Worldwide, and you won't believe this, folks. We have been censored. Look, let's say here are these reports of the Marvels being filmed in Italy using drones and stuff. Let's say I want to like this. Okay, look, I cannot. Your account is suspended. It is now, and it's not permitted to perform this. They blocked my account. Why? Well, because of this meme. It hurts them that bad. It was that bad for them. So as you can see, these people can create any kind of lies about Brie Larson with all impunity. But you cannot respond. You cannot answer them. Because this is what happens, right? You also saw in YouTube what happened, right? Like Yellow Flash published something about that meme. Let's go to community. So Yellow Flash published about this. The Quartering posted about this. The Bombing into Comics channel comment on this, and they actually also give me a little article in this Bound to Comics that the Quartering used for his content. So it's unbelievable. It gives you an idea of the interest behind this harassment to Brie Larson.
So as I said, let's get to the meat of the story. Brie Larson stans, or crazed and obsessed fans as defined by Urban Dictionary, are attempting to defend the actress for her past actions by accusing her critics of racism and sexism.
Crazed and obsessed fans. Really? Crazy and obsessed indeed.
The Brie Larson stan account on Twitter, Brie Larson WW, recently shared a meme showing a Trojan horse labeled racism and sexism filled with YouTuber MechaRandom42, Jeremy Griggs from Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy Hambley from The Quartering, and Anna from That Star Wars Girl. The Trojan horse is being pulled by a man labeled Geek YouTuber into YouTube, which is filled with the, quote, young apolitical public. They captioned the meme writing, yeah, that's pretty much the story of why people hate Brie Larson. It's all manipulation and bias. The meme is completely false.
So the meme is completely false. Just like that. You're not going to elaborate. You're not going to explain why is it false. You're just saying it's false. Period. Why? And then this guy goes into Brie Larson, of course. Why? Of course, the idea is to put us into the defensive. Not to have to discuss all the excesses and scandals committed by the Fandom menace, of which there's plenty of documentation.
And went on with my life. However, a few days later, I was doing a weekly call-in stream with my fans when the quartering himself came into my chat, demanding a debate. I was caught off guard, but at the time I was a much smaller channel, and I wasn't going to give up a chance to debate such a large public figure. He joined my fan Discord and we started a debate. The first thing I noticed was that he was also streaming, and his fans were flooding into my chat by the hundreds, spamming the N-word and things like Hitler did nothing wrong and gas the Jews. But let's be honest, none of us was surprised that his fan base is full of Nazis. I started bringing up issues that I had with him, and like with Destiny, he started to backpedal. For example, he claimed that lesbian, gay, and bisexual people don't have it all that hard in society today compared to straight people. After I brought up a few studies and articles proving that false, he backpedaled on that point. However, when debating the black experience in America, he started to engage in a tactic that I've noticed a lot of reactionaries engaging in lately: virtue signaling. You've probably heard this word used by reactionaries quite often, though ironically, they're the ones who seem to engage in it most often in debate. I attempted to explain socioeconomics to him, and I tried to illustrate for him that statistically, a friend of his who is black would have had a much harder time growing up than a friend of his that is white. Before I could even finish this point, he interjected saying, well, for starters, I would never call him my black friend, I would call him Kyler. Yeah, I'm not joking, that is word for word what he said.
Let's return to the article.
In fact, it's Brie Larson who has actually expressed sexist and racist views in the past. Infamously, back in June 2018, while receiving the Crystal Award at the Women in Film Crystal plus Lucy Awards in Los Angeles, Larson commented on the critics of A Wrinkle in Time and specifically segmented them out by their race and gender. She said, I don't need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. I want to know what that film meant to women of color, to biracial women, to teen women of color, to teens that are biracial. She would go on to add, and for the third time, I don't hate white dudes. These are just...
But wait, here Brie says, these are just facts, these are not my feelings. But what facts is she talking about? Well...
So earlier this week, USC Annenberg's Inclusive Initiative released findings that 67% of the top critics reviewing the 100 highest grossing movies in 2017 were white males. Less than a quarter were white women, and less than 10% were unrepresented men. Only 2.5% of those top critics were women of color. So you're probably thinking right now, like, wow, that super doesn't represent the country that I live in, and that's because that's true. This is a huge disconnect from the US population breakdown of 30% white men, 30% white women, 20% men of color, and 20% women of color.
A very important fact indeed. However, for a reason that is never mentioned in the article of Bound to Comics, and by the way, is never mentioned by Brie Larson haters. Why? It's almost as if you were using the white guy's joke to hide the actual information, the lack of representation in the media. Is it? Why you are not discussing this? You may not agree entirely with what Brie says, and that will be understandable. But why to omit these facts? Why to omit this discussion? Why are you getting so angry with something that obviously is true?
The quartering is a very special, very dangerous kind of bigot. One with a massive audience who makes racist, homophobic, transphobic, and even misogynistic propaganda, but when challenged on it, he plays dumb and acts like he doesn't know what he's doing, and that the people who are calling him out are just overreacting.
But let's continue.
Not only did Larson clearly indicate she was prejudiced against 40-year-old white dudes and their opinions regarding A Wrinkle in Time, but while promoting Captain Marvel, she insinuated she wanted to have less white men on the press tour. She told Marie Claire, quote, "About a year ago, I started paying attention to what my press days looked like and the critics reviewing movies and noticed it appeared to be overwhelmingly white male."
So either this guy didn't understood what Brie Larson wanted to say in that speech, or he doesn't know what she really said, or he's really trying to play
Again,
dumb with
she's
this.
separating people by their race and gender.
This is a huge disconnect from the US population breakdown of 30% white men, 30% white women, 20% men of color, and 20% women of color.
Why are you getting so angry with something that obviously is true? So true that the Golden Globes are in a big scandal right now, in good part because of this. Because the lack of representation in the Golden Globes. And look, Rotten Tomatoes, they are also taking this lack of representation very seriously. So what Brie Larson is saying here, it's documented. It is facts, as she said. It's something to be discussed. It's something to be taken seriously. Because serious institutions are taking it seriously. Why you are not discussing this? You are going to tell me that there is no racist bias in here? You are getting into trouble. How to forget when Jeremy from the Quartering got angry because somebody attacked Hitler? Somebody in Twitter said, F Hitler, and look at the response of the Quartering. Look at it. So he is not racist. I'm not saying that Jeremy from the Quartering is an idiot. Of course, he's going to hide his real intentions. But even though he tries to hide it, it's quite clear to me what is happening here. Imagine if Brie Larson tweeted something like this. Can you imagine the scandal? Can you imagine how this troop of mercenaries, of racists, will have reacted to it? Do you think they will keep it down? Of course not. This is just hypocrisy. Now, of course, that bound into comics are going to defend the Fandom Menace because they are more of the same thing. And here is this graphic explaining how these toxic groups of fans, they arrange one with the other to create toxic rumors, toxic fake news. So places like Mike Zero or Doomcock, they create fake news here said the fake rumors that tend to have the longest legs usually stem from select group of algorithm chasing clickbait websites and YouTubers. These fake scoopers have no accurate track record to speak of, aside from taking credit from scoops actually sourced from Reddit, such as Doomcock, right? So these rumors typically gain traction by an overt pandering of the ones of a specific sect in the fandom. Stage 2 is exactly where we got discovered or bounding into comics or cosmic book news enter. Very few will read the contents, let alone check the source of the information. Finally, despite being fully aware of the misinformation, they will cover those website articles and spread the fake rumors even further. These channels are sometimes known to be associates of the operations of these websites and the individuals who create the fake rumors to begin with. Fake rumors almost have an entirely planned and manufactured life cycle of their own. They are nothing more than an attempt to work the YouTube and Google search algorithms for profit. So that's exactly what they did with my meme. In this case, the rumor started in Bound into Comics, and all the rest of channels took it. And the proposal of this is using Brie Larson's name to grab some cash from their clientele, right? So they owe me money. They owe me big money. Jeremy from the Quartering, you owe me big money, man, because you are using my meme to get a lot of money. Actually, you owe me, man. You owe me, and not only you. So those are my thoughts in this matter. Of course, This is just, again, manipulation, fabrication. Jeremy even goes to the extent to say that my meme was from Brie Larson. In his thumbnail, of course, in his actual video, he, he of course he never said that, but in the thumbnail, and not only him, a lot of others YouTubers did the same thing. That Brie Larson is attacking fans because of my meme made by a fan. So, as a conclusion, these groups, they want open window to spread their lies, attack. They don't want you to respond. They are very sensitive to criticism. And if you respond, if you defend Brie Larson from all the lies that they are spreading, they claim that they are victims. They accuse you of doing exactly what they're doing. They will say that you are a toxic fan, extreme fan. We already saw who are the extreme fans. We already saw who are the toxic fans. So this is just hypocrisy in an astronomical manner. So know your meme, know your grifters. This is a grift, by definition. Okay, that's my view. This was Joku for Brie Larson Worldwide. Keep loving Brie.